Hey everybody, welcome back to Daniel's Nitro RC channel. How are you all doing tonight? I'm going to be working on this truck tonight. I'm going to be installing this pull starter on it, and I might put new fuel line on it too. We'll see how that goes. So bear with me real quick because I'm going to move my work table over to the other side so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'll move this down here. There we go. Okay. All right. So the only thing I really need to do to it, like I said, is just put this pull starter on and maybe some fuel line. I'll look at it when I take it off. But let's just get started into it. So I'm going to pull the body off of it. And I'm going to pull the motor off of there. And see if I can't. I might be able to. No, I'm going to have to pull the motor out. But that's okay though. Okay, so I'm going to start by pulling the air filter off, get that out of the way. And then we're going to start tearing it down. Should have everything I need up here on the table. Or if not, I can make do with what I got. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling. I'm going to pull the fuel lines off. That'll be step one. Okay, there's that one. I'm going to pull the exhaust one off. We'll get those out of my way. Might have enough fuel line to do. Yeah, I'm just going to, while I'm at it, guys, I'm just going to put new fuel line on and use up the rest of this, what I bought. It's always a good idea to put new stuff on. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to cut these to length. Since I already have the line, I'll just use it. So I'm just going to cut off to length what I need. Okay, that'll be that one. And I'm going to go ahead and put the heat shielding back on to it. So that'll be that one. I'm just gonna while I'm at it, I may take the fuel. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the fuel tank off too while I'm at it. And I'm going to clean up inside, even though it's not really that bad or that dirty. I'm gonna still clean it anyway while I have it out. So I'm just gonna pull the engine and the fuel tank both. So we're just going to start by cutting off the zip ties that hold the muffler in place real fast. So I'm just gonna pull those off like so. And then that will get me to at least, get it out of the way because I'm pulling the motor. Okay, there. Get it out of the way enough. Okay, so now I'm going to, let's see, where's that? I think that's the one I need. I don't know if I can pull the engine like this. I haven't tried it yet. I don't think I can. Well, I can get to that one. I might be able to pull the engine like this. Actually, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the engine out like this. And that wasn't on there very tight. But that's okay, because I'm just replacing the pull, or putting a pull starter on it. So I'm going to tighten these up a little bit tighter after I pull the engine out. It's better to pull it off of the top of the engine mount rather than pulling the whole mount with the engine. That way you don't lose track of where the engine was at. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull. And in turn, it'll be a lot more easier for me to do. So I'm going to pull this engine first, and then I'll worry about the fuel tank later. And I do have some new screws that I'm going to use too as well to aid into the process of getting it out of there easier. So I'm just going to pull this thing out here. Okay, the engine's now loose. So now I'm going to gently pull it up out of there. Actually, I got to unplug all this junk here. I don't know what it is about these pull starters. I just really don't care for them. I like the pull starters better. So I'm just going to pull these wires out of the way so I can get in here. Okay, the engine is now loose. So now I need to just work the throttle linkage up and over and out. There she is, guys. TRX 2.5R engine. I might clean it up a little bit while I have it out. So there's that. See, now I didn't move a single thing for the engine as far as mounting wise anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get my new part installed, move those over there so I don't lose them. Because I don't know if I'm going to reuse these or not. But it's good to save stuff. Okay, now let's get that electric starter off. So need a real tiny Allen wrench. There's 3 screws that hold it on. So we're going to start by pulling them off. And while I have it apart, I'm going to look in there and see what's going on inside. I may clean it up just a pinch. I did that with my 3.3. I cleaned it up too while I had it out of the truck. That's the best time to clean the engine. When you pull them like I am, it's just really good to just clean them. I'm just going to pop this thing off here. Get rid of this big bulky thing. Okay. Now we're just going to gently pull it off. And the one-way bearing did come out with it. So I'm going to just pull that out. I'm going to get me a rag real fast. Okay, so we're going to pull the one-way bearing out of here because it's kind of stuck in there. Kind of gummed up in there. Oh, I see. It got stuck in there. Yeah, I'm going to have a little trouble getting that out of there, I think. Ugh. That's why I don't like these electric starts. They're a pain. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that out of there, guys. I'm going to clean up the back side of the engine real fast. Get all that gunk and yuckiness out of there. All right. So now I really need to work on getting this out with something. I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but I'm going to try to, let's see, where's that screwdriver at I had earlier? Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to try to pop this out of here. It's just stuck in there. If you work it out enough, it'll come out. And this truck has not been ran in 2 years, so it's gonna come out. There it went. Okay, great. Okay, so that it only goes on one way, so you want to clean it up. And I'm going to give it a little shot of WD-40 while I have it out. So a little WD-40 don't hurt. So we're going to just spray it. Put some WD-40 in there. That will kind of clean the bearing too. Don't want to wipe it all out because you want to leave it in there. And we're going to put it on the engine here. I'm just going to work it a little bit here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shoot a little bit in there. Just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. Just enough to free everything up again. Because it hasn't been ran in a couple of years. So you want to just clean everything up. Okay, guys. Now I got this all cleaned up. Or almost cleaned up. Okay, now we're gonna take the new pull starter out. And it does come with the new screws too. It comes with 4 screws. And you're gonna need all 4 of those. Okay. I'm gonna pop the new assembly in there, and it should seat right into place like that. You want to work it a little bit, make sure everything works, and it does. Okay, now we're going to put the new screws in the new pull starter. So let's go ahead and get your new screws out. It's good to use new stuff if at all possible. Put the new screw in there, tighten it up. What's cool about these is from the factory they put blue thread locker on them so they don't come loose on you, which is really cool that they come pre like that from the factory. So we're just gonna put the rest of these screws in. And while I have it, when I get done putting the pull starter on, I'm gonna pull the fuel tank out and clean it up with some alcohol. We're gonna put the third one in. Okay. One left. So now we're gonna give them all a little twist. Tighten them up so I don't come loose. Like so. All right. And that is how you put a pull starter on a 2.5R engine. Pretty easy to do. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the fuel tank off. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that fuel tank off. Or I'm gonna clean this up a little bit more. Got some junk in there. I'm gonna put a little WD-40 on my rag. Like that. This is a good cleaner too. So I'm just gonna wipe the body of the engine down a little bit. Get all that yucky, junky stuff off. Okay. So that is now ready to go. Now I'm going to pull the tank off of it and clean that up. So I'm just gonna rest my truck up like this. Where's my screwdriver? Okay, we're gonna take these screws out. It's a good idea to clean it right now because I can have room to put it back in. And also, it makes it easier to put your fuel line on the bottom too while you're working on it. So, works out pretty good. I'm going to put these screws right here so I don't lose them. And those fuel lines are almost the same size, but not quite. So I'm just gonna put that stuff over here, put this down, because I'm gonna clean this area too in here while I have the fuel tank out. So I'm just gonna pull this line off, and I'm gonna cut this one in the size, and I should have just a little bit left. I'm just gonna match it up, size it, and we're gonna cut this off. Like so. Now I got that much fuel line left over, and I know exactly what I'm gonna do with this. When I go and put my my fuel door things on, I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna lay that one on top and that one on the bottom, so I know where they go. So now, bear with me a little bit. I'm going to go clean this fuel tank up real quick. Or actually, I'm going to clean the outside of it first. Get all that junk off of it, because it needs a good cleaning. And yes, I am using WD-40 for that too. I'm just cleaning it with it. Makes a good quality cleaner. And what's cool about it is you can find WD-40 just about anywhere. It's got many uses, not just for RCs, but you can use this stuff on a lot of stuff. So just polish it up a little bit and get it clean, all cleaned up here. Make it look like a new tank again. Might have to use my screw or my little trusty friend here, my toothbrush here, my old toothbrush, to get in there and help me clean this thing. And that gets all the yucky stuff off of it, all the dirt, the grime, get all that junk off of there. Because after all, this is a fuel tank. You want to make sure it's clean. So we're just going to give my toothbrush a little WD-40 here, so I can clean the crevices and the mount areas, and clean all that yucky stuff off of there. And I'm going to clean the inside of it with some alcohol, some rubbing alcohol. Get all that yuck out of there. This fuel tank isn't too bad of a shape for a used one. I did replace it on my other truck though, but this one is in really good shape actually. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. So just use a little cleaner and clean them up a little bit. All right, now I need another rag. I'm gonna clean the outside of it, get it all wiped off here. There we go. Clean her up. All right, now I'm gonna clean it with some alcohol on the inside. I'm just gonna clean the chassis here where the fuel tank did sit. Get all that area clean. And in here where the engine was, clean all that, get it all nice and clean. This truck's barely even been ran. It's pretty clean. But it never hurts to clean them up, though. Make them pretty again. Right. Okay. Now I got that all clean. Well, man, I'm just going to clean some of the other parts, Just clean it up a little bit here and there. Shine it up. Like so. All right. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to go clean the inside of this. So bear with me for a second. Here in just a second, I'm going to go clean that. I'm cleaning the heat shields for the fuel lines. Clean those up, make them look good. Okay, now I'm going to go clean the inside of it. I'll be right back. Oh, I need my alcohol. Okay, I got the fuel tank, the inside of it cleaned. So now I'm just gonna wipe the outside of it, clean the inside where the seal is, all that good stuff. You want a good seal on it. Yeah, that's a good seal still. You want to have it clean. And that washes all the old nitro fuel that might have been in there at one point in time when it was last ran. I'm going to get all that junk out of there. Doesn't hurt to blow in there a few times, get all that junk out of there, all that residue that was in there. Okay, so now we're going to put the fuel lines back on. So pop that one on there. Down. And that one on there. like that. Okay. Now we're gonna mount we're gonna put the fuel tank on first, since I have the screws for it right here. Pop the truck up. Start a few screws. So there was really no need for me to replace this tank because it's still in really good shape. So I'm just gonna tighten these screws up until they're snug. You don't want to over tighten these because it's just plastic. Just enough to snug it is all you need. Because if you crack the bottom of the tank, then you need to replace it again. So now the tank's mounted in place. Now we're going to fit the engine and get it back in. And I'm going to use my new screws to put the engine back in. That way they got fresh screws all the way around. So grab the motor here. Let's see, I need to give, I already gave that a shot of WD-40. Okay. So now we're going to hook up the fuel line to the engine. So I'm going to do that right now while I have it out. That way it's easier for me to connect the line to it. Needle nose pliers works really well for the one on the carburetor. That way you can get it on there all the way. So just gonna fit it in there. The exhaust one I'm not worried about right now. I'm just gonna fit the engine back down in there, like so. I might have to cut that line off a little bit because I noticed it's a little bit long for what I need. Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and cut it off where I need it to be. You don't want them too long, just the right length. Because after all, that's where the fuel goes up from the tank to the engine. So you want to kind of have that happy medium length here. I'm just going to cut off just a little bit because I noticed it was a little bit too long for my liking for the line. So I'm just going to connect that back up to the carb. Just push that line back on like so. Yeah, that's a lot better. I like that fit. It's better. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to mount the engine back into place. I'm going to start by putting one of the screws into the engine mount holes. Bear with me with these screws here. There we go. There's one. I'm going to go ahead and start this one since I have it in, but I'm not going to tighten anything down until I know that it's just right where I need it to be. We're just going to get it down in there. Remember, I'm not tightening anything up yet. I'm just putting the screws and just not snugging them, but just barely getting them in started. So I'm just going to start this one here. Get it on there. Like so. We'll start my third screw. Then when you go to mount the motor, the gear mesh should be, right still, because you didn't move the mount at all. So the gears should still be the same. But it's always helpful to double check that because you want to make sure that it's good. And I'm going to pop that screw in there. And I'm going to tighten that one up a little bit. Okay, all 4 screws are in. Oh, yeah, that's a perfect mesh. That's what you want to see. That's perfect, actually. Tighten these babies down. One more left. Okay, now we're going to hook the muffler back up, which is going to be kind of a pain. I'm going to have to loosen up this screw here. Let's see, I need this one right here. This is going to be a heck of a lot easier for me to put this muffler on. I'm just going to loosen up this screw. And look at that. It pulls right out of there. While I have it out, I'm going to clean it up anyway. So that worked out great. Just clean up everything on it. Okay. Okay, well, I have the muffler out. I'm just going to clean in there too, in this area where it used to sit. Okay, now I'm going to snug up the engine bolts because you don't want this thing coming out. I'm going to give them a good snug and tight. Let's see, where's my, yes, right there. Okay. Engine's back in. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to put my air filter back on so I don't get any contaminants or dirty stuff down in there. There we go. Put that back on. Pop the clip back in there. Wait. Is that all I got? You know what? I think I got them wrong. I think this one goes here. Yeah, it does actually. No, it doesn't. You know, I'm just going to put a brand new body clip in that. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, I will put a new body clip in that because I have some. So I'm just going to give it a new clip here. All right. So that will hold the air filter in. There, that's better. Okay, now we're going to put the muffler back on. I'm just going to push it on there. There we go. Push it back into place where it was. Then don't forget to hook up your hoses. Let's see, I made that one a little bit too long too, but that's okay though, because that's what fuel line is for. Just always got to make it longer than what it needs to be. Okay. Got that all hooked up. Engine's back in, air filters in, fuel tanks good. Put my old screws over here in that. See, now it's got a full start now. Oh, another thing I'm going to do is get these silly wires off of here next. But I'm going to secure the muffler now. Tighten up this screw. So it doesn't move on me. Okay. Zip tie. Best friend for working on RCs, especially these. So now we're going to put some new zip ties around the muffler. The muffler coupler, I should say. Go. And don't forget to cut the end of it off. There you have a nice little tail. Okay, there's that one. I'll put another one on there. Because you need 2 of them total for the muffler. Well, in this case, it's called a resonator, but you get the idea. Put this one on. Make sure it's on there good and tight. You don't want no exhaust leaks. All right, guys. So I'm going to put one more zip tie, and I'll show you why. I like to keep my antenna down like that. I don't like to have it through the body. So a little thing that I learned is just zip tie it around the shock tower post so it doesn't get in your way. So just zip tie it right there like that, and then you don't have to worry about it being in your way. Okay, now we're gonna take off the old electric start wires. So that's just basically 2 Allen head screws that you got to remove on the back, and there's a plug back here with wires. I'm going to take that all off of there and just get rid of the whole assembly, just like that. See, it just pulls out, and then you don't have to worry about that thing anymore. Okay, this truck is now ready to run. We got the throttle hooked back up. I'm just verifying that I got everything hooked up. Throttle works good. Okay. All right, guys. I have officially put together both trucks now, and they are both ready to run. All right. Now, the last thing to do is just make sure I did everything or tightened everything. So the muffler's tight. We got the zip ties on. Got the engine mounted. The gear mesh is perfect. I cleaned the inside of the fuel tank, which is good because it really needed a good cleaning. Let's see what else. Oh, I put new fuel lines on. And it's ready to run. So we're just gonna put the body back on it. Like so. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. Bend these clips up. I like to do this because it's easier for me to get them off. So what you do is you take it and you take another pair of pliers and you just bend it up like that. And what that does is it helps aid, getting the body off. So you just bend them, and then you just put it back where it goes. And then I got to make sure I bend this one the right way too. And I'm just gonna clamp it with my pliers right here. We're gonna bend the end of this one up like that. So when you go to take it off, it's not hard to get the body off. Like that. Then we're gonna do the same thing with the front ones. We gotta see which way they go. I think they go like that. So we're going to do the same exact thing with these. Hold it with your pliers real good and tight when you bend them. Just bend it straight up. Just pop that one on. And then this one, I need to bend up too. So we're going to take my pliers and just bend it up. Mount that thing in there. There. All right, guys. This truck is now ready to run officially. Thank you guys for watching me tonight. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. It would really help me out a lot. If there's any questions at all that any of you may have for me, as far as nitros, questions about how to fix them, stuff like that, please hit me up on here. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm always going to be here. So let me know what questions you may have, all that good stuff. And I will try my best to answer them. I may not know, everything about them, but at least I know how to fix these. So just let me know if you have any questions, because I'll be here. I'm just cleaning up my tools as we speak here. Just getting everything cleaned up. It's just all this stuff here. I'm going to probably need this little screwdriver for tuning it when I do get it running. Let's see. That one goes to this. That. And I'm going to put my tools back. It's always good to have a set of Allen wrenches. They're going to be your best friend. Do all those, put all those back, all that stuff. This is trash, 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 trash. Okay. And I will be right back. Well, this concludes today's video. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you next time.